Hi all, welcome back. I'm your drum major Raina Choi, and today we'll be covering forward marching. By the end of this video, you should know what an 8 to 5 step size is and how to forward march. To start off, we'll be going over what an 8 to 5 step size is and how we use that when marching. To fully understand what I'm talking about, let's take a quick overview of the field. You won't need to know these terms right now, but they're good to know and you might need to know them at some point. Starting off, we have the end zones on the left and right sides of the field. These aren't really that important when we march, but sometimes the band stands in a block there when waiting to compete. In front of and behind the field, we have the stands. When we perform, we do so for the judges in the press box on the side of the home stands. That means during our field show, the home stands tends to be the side we face. We have the front hash and back hash that run parallel to the front and back sidelines. And lastly, we have side 1 and side 2 that are the left and right halves of the field respectively, when viewing the field from the side of the home stands. Now that we've gotten all of that over with, let's move on to the part that applies to this video. We have our yard lines running across the field parallel to the end zones. These yard lines occur every 5 yards, and every other yard line, or every 10 yards, the yard line is numbered. So the goal with the 8 to 5 step size is a standard size for everyone to step to, and it is basically 8 steps every 5 yards, or to put it more simply, 8 steps every yard line. The split is a halfway point in between the yard lines. When the band forms a block to practice, let's say forward marching, everyone stands on a yard line or split in 4 steps in front of and behind each other, or to the right and left, depending on which way the band is facing at the moment, so that all of the columns and rows of the block are evenly spaced apart. Generally, when the block begins to move, everybody takes the standard 8 to 5 size steps, so everybody is moving at the same speed and the block looks clean. That being said, when the block is facing the end zones, the split and yard lines become handy checkpoints when making sure that your step size isn't too big or too small, as you should hit one every 4 steps. This might sound kind of overwhelming, but don't worry too much, as you'll get a lot of practice once we're able to actually go on the football field and march. If you want to practice the step size at home, you can mark the spacing on the floor or something. Just as a reference, each step is 22.5 inches. Now let's go on to forward marching. So when you march forwards in the block, you will either start at attention or the person running the exercise will tell you to put your feet into tracking before starting. Whether or not you start in tracking, when you step off, your feet should be spaced out at the appropriate distance for tracking, with your feet parallel when moving. The signal to move or step off can be given either as a command or in the form of dutting. The command sounds like this: forward, march, and step. The step off occurs in the first beat of the second measure with the left foot. An important note is that the band always steps off with the left foot unless there's a rare exception. When being dutted off, you will actually have an extra measure than the command before marching. It sounds like this: dut, 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 dut. So the band moves on the beat after the fourth beat of the second measure, and the step off occurs on the first beat of the third measure. Another way to think of this is the duts being like a count of 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8 before moving. The duts will also give you your tempo, so you know how fast to march. So when actually stepping off, you want to step with your left foot on beat 1 so that your left heel is on the ground and your toes are up. On your right foot, you want your heel up and platform on the ground. Take just the first step with me and freeze. Dut, 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 and step. It may be kind of hard to balance in this position, so what you want to do is center your body between your front and back foot and think of the weight in your back foot as if it is all shifted towards your big toe. On the second beat, you want to roll forwards on your left foot so that your right foot is now in front with the toes up and heel on the ground. Your left foot should now be the one with the platform on the ground and heel up. Try just the first 2 steps with me and freeze. Dut, 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 and step 2. Notice that your right foot had to travel a farther distance to get to where it needed to be than the left foot originally did. Because of this, it is important to push from the back foot when moving forward. It will also help you roll forward more smoothly. Moving smoothly and rolling your feet makes it easier to play and march at the same time, as it keeps you from bouncing up and down. Another thing that you should take note of is that the foot lands on the ground on the counts and the ankles cross on the ands, same as when marking time, as mentioned in the previous video. To march, you continue to do this for as long as needed until they bring you to a halt. Typically, it will be in sets of 8, so let's do that here. Take 7 steps with me and freeze. Dut, 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 and step 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and freeze. Now that we're halting, the last step of the 8 counts should be your right foot. You want to end at attention feet by pointing your foot at 45 degrees when stepping. Take the last step with me and freeze. At this point, you want to be on the platforms of both feet. On step 1 or the next beat, bring your left foot forwards to attention. Try the halt with me. 5, 6, 7, point and close. Let's try everything we've learned so far in a set of 8. Dut, 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 and step 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, point and close. Alternatively, the person running the exercise may tell you to keep going until they tell you to halt. In this case, it's going to sound like this. Ready, halt. The command will be given 4 beats before the halt occurs, and it should look like this. Ready, halt, point, and close. Now that you've learned forward marching, you can practice on your own with a metronome. At first, the movements might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but with practice, they should get easier. The 8 to 5 step size doesn't necessarily need to be practiced right now, but at some point when we are on the field, you are expected to know how to keep your step sizes at the standard spacing. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.